Greetings everyone. It is Saturday. It's a beautiful day and I thought that I would show you the garden. You know I love to garden. If you've been following me, if you follow me on social media, I'm always posting my garden. But I haven't done a video showing my garden this whole season. And I do it for you, but I also do it for me because I love to see how it's changed over the months, the years. It just really makes me so happy to do that. So I thought, I've got to do a little bit of maintenance of some planting. I bought some new plants and I thought, I should bring you along. So if you don't know, for those of you that are new or just seeing this for the first time, my name is Elvia. I am a 50-plus career woman living here in the Bay Area. And I really just share everything about my life, really just enjoying the skin that I'm in, the age that I'm at, not trying to defy it, but just really embracing and just enjoying my life. That's what this is all about. So if this is something that interests you, then please like and subscribe. I used to live in Berkeley, which is a much cooler climate, and there's quite a bit of fog, especially in the summertime. I moved away. My husband and I got married, we bought a house, and we moved about 10 minutes from Berkeley, but it is very, very dramatically different. I now live in zone 10A, which is a much more warm climate. I live 30 minutes outside of San Francisco, and I really like it here. I like the warmth, and it doesn't get as foggy. It does, but not as foggy because I still live in the Bay Area, but it's really warm here. So that's the zone that I live in. So today I'm ready. I've got my shears and I've got my matcha. I'm going to do a little bit of research before I start. I have got my Kindle. Don't you love that cover? Oh my God, that is so cute. So when I get tired, I'll sit down and do a little bit of reading. And I've got my hat to protect my face and my sunglasses, but I also have my sunscreen. There's other things going on this weekend, but today it's just about the garden and just kind of showing you what's going on, some of the plants that I bought, and I don't know, let's just get into it. All right, I'm going to show you some of the plants that I got. And I don't know if I'll get to all of them because I have ideas for them, but it really requires more work than I want to do today. I really just want to frolic and show you my garden. But let me show you the plants that I got. All right, well, first things first, I got 2 bags of soil. I needed another bag of this succulent soil and then potting soil, but then this one here is a cardinal clematis, and it's a climber, and it's got those really beautiful purple flowers. So I keep trying to grow this, but I don't really have success, but I'm not a quitter, so I'm gonna keep trying. And then I've got this beautiful Nepeta here. I got 2 of those. They're so pretty. And then I have 2, which I really love this plant a lot. This is the Sinethra. I don't know how to say it, but it's got these really pretty pink flowers. Got that. And then I've got this Coleus here, and then I got a yarrow. I like yarrow in the yard. I've got a couple, so I got this multicolor. And then I got this beautiful agapanthus that I'm going to put in a pot. But I like it because it's got like the white and purple. It's a little bit more unique. And I think they just look really stunning in pots. And then of course, I've got my petunias here. So let's go play in the garden. So pretty. It's really, really hot today. But let me show you what I'm looking at. So here she is in full glory, and I'll kind of walk you through, but this is the first bed, and this is like where my lavender is, which is looking quite spectacular. I've got a fountain which I need to fill, but essentially this is the main bed of the garden, and there's really no rhyme or reason, to be honest. I just plant what I like. which is not always smart, but I'm not a trained gardener per se, whatever that means. I mean, honestly, you know, it's my joy. So that's bed number 1. And then within the property, I've got 19 fruit trees, which is a lot. And we inherited them from a really nice elderly couple. This didn't look like this. It was all dirt and just the trees. I think they took the garden out because they couldn't, they were just getting too old to handle it. So I put the garden in and built it little by little. And then we eventually hired a landscaper to come in and lay down the gravel and tamp it out and do all that stuff because it was just too hard to do. But here is bed number 2 off to this section here. And I have to say, this is the one that I'm least proud of, this bed here. It's just kind of messy. Really no rhyme or reason. The only thing that I think is really wonderful about it, well, I'm being too hard on myself, but essentially I do like the climbing rose, and finally this year it looks like it's climbing, but otherwise it needs a lot of work. And then here I just put this fountain in. I had a different fountain which I think was actually more of a planter than it was a fountain. So we just put this one in. I got this maybe a month ago and my husband just lifted it in for me. It's pretty heavy. Then I have my little seating area here, which is just really lovely. More fruit trees. And then here, I'll show you, this is the third bed here. And this one, again, I don't think it really has rhyme or reason, but there's just things that I like, and I love the little fountain that it has that I put in. I think it's really sweet. But I need to fill it in with more. Most of these plants are, to be honest, plants that I thought were dead, and they came back to life. So there you go. Yeah, so that's bed number 3. There's the full view of bed number 3. Off to the side here is bed. Alongside all of that runs bed number 4, and this one needs a lot of work and a lot of cleanup. I cleaned it up, but we've got this huge, I'm going to show you, this birch tree, and then we've got this redwood tree that really dump a lot of debris, so it makes it really difficult to be able to keep this area tidy. But it needs some work, and I'm gonna plant some things here. Off to the side here, I've done videos where I've cleaned this up. I just cleaned this up maybe about a month or so ago. And so it's nice and tidy. It's got all my amendments and my bins, my soils, and then it's got my planters and then just different supplies. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some of my favorite things that really bring me joy in my garden. So let's start with the first thing on the list. All right, first things first, my retractable hose. I love this thing. My husband put this in for me a few weeks ago. I've had it for almost a year, and he couldn't figure out, well, not that he couldn't figure out, he was concerned about the pressure that it would put on the studio wall because they're not that strong. So he was concerned, but he figured out the engineering portion. But I love this thing, and this isn't sponsored. I bought this, paid for this with my own money, but I mean, it's pretty obvious why I love it, right? Because I can take it out into the garden and then it just goes back up. So I love that. That's my favorite thing. The next thing is my sink. It's not a fancy sink by any means, but it makes it really handy when you're gardening to be able to just access a sink to do potting or cleanup of plants when a hose won't do. Sometimes you just need a sink. My next favorite thing is my seating area here with the umbrella. This is towards the back of the garden, and you can see that there's some shade depending on how I organize the chairs. But I got those chairs at IKEA, and they're super functional, and I love the design. They're very simple, but they have a really cool design, and it's really nice when I'm working in the garden and I'm tired to just come over and sit on these, and I don't have to worry if I'm dirty. My next favorite thing is my arbor that has my climbing rose. I will have to replace it because it's not a very good one, but it serves its purpose for now, and I'm really excited because my climbing roses are starting to really take shape. And I don't know if you can see, it's coming up at the top now, so it's about to go, it's gone up and now it'll go over. This rose bush brings me a tremendous amount of joy. I bought this, it was probably less than 6 inches tall, and it was dead. It was like $1 at, I think, at Lowe's or something like that. And I mean, look at it now. It is crazy with blooms. I'm pretty religious about deadheading it so that it constantly is blooming, and it is so beautiful. But this, every time I see it, it just really brings me so much joy. It's so beautiful. This little fountain brings me joy. It's just a little fish. I think I got it on Amazon, and I bought this pedestal, and it's just adorable. I just love it so much. These beautiful African daisies, the color is so stunning. I wish I would have planted it somewhere else in the garden because it's kind of hidden, and it's kind of peeks out. But look at the variation of color. They're so beautiful. This plant stand, it's not really a plant stand, it's an outdoor little table, but I'm going to use it as a plant stand because I just love how sculptural it is. It's just, I like, well, not so much sculptural, but I love the lines of this, and the first thing I thought of was it would make a great plant stand. So I love, 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 love. My hummingbird feeder, this is one of 2 that I have, but this is right below the patio. And if you would have said to me that I would have been someone who enjoys watching birds, I would have thought you were nuts. But here we are, and it is my absolute favorite thing. I love watching the hummingbirds play all day long. And my beautiful statue. I just love the statue, and I just love the way this all looks. It makes me so happy when I see it in the morning when I'm sitting out on the patio. I think she's just so beautiful, and I love it. The next thing that I want to do is this planter. I'm going to get these into this pot. I've got some marigolds in here, but it's not really doing anything for me. So I'm going to take those out. I'm going to put these petunias, and the color is multiflora. It's like a strawberry. It's called Strawberry Shake. So, but I do have something that I want to keep. So I'm going to take these out. They're just always so dry. I don't understand why. I've had marigolds and they were never dry like that, so I don't like that. That is so pretty. This is just some of the plums. This plum tree was never really very good, which is, it's always been kind of had a strange fruit, or like, I don't know, weird taste. But the family we bought the house from, he said this was his favorite, and I could never understand. This is the first year that these actually taste good. I couldn't understand why he liked them so much, but I see why. This is a really good, the flesh is really sweet, and the skin is not very sour. I mean, there's different plums where the skin is really sour. The skin is slightly sour, so it's really perfect. That is so good. I'm gonna this time of the year, this is why I can stay in the garden so long. If I get hungry, I'll have an apple, I'll have a peach, I'll have plums, oranges. That's why I don't really get very hungry when I'm out here, because I just snack on this fruit. Yummy. Okay, the next thing I want to do is, it's a little bit of an ambitious plan, but I've got this beautiful agapanthus here, and what I like about this one is it's a little different than most agapanthus. It's got purple at the base of the flower, and then it's got white, so it looks, I don't know, I just think it looks really pretty. But why it's ambitious is because I want to put it in this pot. It's got this, what is this called? Creeping Susan, I think it is. But it's already sort of established in the pot. I had something in here and this was sort of like the accent, but I want to have the agapanthus here, and then I want this sort of draping, but I think I have to remove this first, so it's going to be, it's either going to succeed or it's going to be a fail. So let's try. Let's see if we can do this. I think I should take it out first, but we'll see. This is the biggest one, so if I can at least get this in, then I'll be happy. So pretty. You've got that nice agapanthus, and then you've got this that's sort of falling over, and it looks so pretty. It's beautiful. I think I gotta water that, but it looks great. So here it is, and it's really pretty. You see how green it is, and it goes up the pergola, and it's beautiful. But you can see in the middle, you see all that is not so attractive. So let's get that cleaned up. It's not that bad. Good. So it looks much better now. I trimmed it and cleaned it up. And honestly, it took me all of 15 minutes, if that. I even like swept the little sink area, but let me show you what I did. And now, just even when I was walking back to pick up some tools, I just felt such a relief. It's really incredible when your space or your spaces are not, like they've got some obstruction. It kind of really affects you. And I didn't realize, I mean I knew, but I didn't really realize. But let me show you, it looks so good. So I'll start down at the bottom. You can see now that it's really cleaned up. I can even see the potted plant that I had. I couldn't see it before. There was all this debris, and I swept down below. It looks really nice and tidy. But if I bring you all the way up, you see I had cleaned up all the debris, all the dead stuff that was on there. And then also I took it to the top of the pergola because there was a bunch of long strands that were just kind of hitting you in the face as you walked over to the sink. And so I just tidied them up, kind of wound them around the pergola, so now they can start climbing. But that's done. That makes me feel so happy. Good morning. It is Sunday and I slept so well. I feel so rested. I am alone today. My husband went off to, I don't know, some car thing. You know, he told me what it was all about, but it's like he sounds like the Charlie Brown teacher sometimes. And I'm sure when I talk about, I don't know, my purchases, I sound the same way. But anyway, he's off today with a friend. They're hanging out doing car things, and I am going to go back into the garden. Anyhow, I have my matcha this morning, and I was lying in bed last night and I think maybe I talked about it in the video, I can't remember yesterday, but I was talking about one of the beds that didn't really have a point of view. And I thought, Elvia, why don't you just focus in on that bed? It definitely needs some weighting, so I need to do that. I might get inspired, I might do that, but there's just a couple of other little things that I want to do, and mostly it's just kind of frolicking, but there is one thing that I need to do, and it's a dirty, dirty job. I have a huge low pot in the actual garden bed that's for all of my bulbs, because I have voles here and they eat some of my plants and they especially like the bulbs. So I have this really nice large round flat pot, and I thought that I had proper drainage, but it's flooded and I can't figure out why. And I don't want sitting water because they just found not too far from me, they just found a case of the Nile virus in some water, so kind of freaked out about that. But anyway, I think I definitely need to do that, but otherwise it's just another day of frolicking in the garden. But before I do that, I do have to go run and get some groceries really quick. Don't need very much. And then I need to head over to, I would like to head over to the nursery. I need to get 2 plants. I'm redoing these pots and they need a very specific kind of plant and I don't have that plant. So good excuse to go. So I'm going to do that, but I want to go quickly and I want to come back because I really want to spend the bulk of my time playing in the garden. So let's go. Got this one, which is so gorgeous, spiderwort, but I don't know if this captures. It has these flowers. That is really pretty. That's so unique. And then I've always wanted milkweed plant. Milkweed, it has these really pretty little flowers for butterflies. I got 2 because I want it to be really, really bushy. I'm doing a project and so I need some of these donkey tails. I'm reusing a fountain and turning it into a planter, and so I'm going to have it with nothing but stuffed with these so that it's just really striking. And then I got 2 of these Synthranthus. I can't remember, but I got the ones that were about to bud, and I got 2 of those for a project that I'm working on. Then I got 2 of these Sal packs of Cosmos. I love Cosmos in the summertime. So I got a pink one with pink flowers, and then I got another one that has these really pretty white blushy flowers. And then the last thing that I got this was one of the second projects that I'm working on. I'm gonna put this into a pot that's on the patio and it'll spread. I just thought it was really sweet. I don't know what this is called. Mecardonia Magic Carpet, and I think that's really pretty, really sweet. So that is everything that I got. The one thing that I have to make sure that I do is tend to that standing water. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to start there, and sometimes when I start on these little projects it just sort of motivates me to keep going. So let me show you what that looks like. It's kind of scary. I think it has the wrong irrigation setup. So let's get to cleaning that up. I figured out what the problem was. It did have a hole slightly larger than a quarter, but the problem was, for whatever reason, there was a rock stuck in that hole, and I had dug sort of like a little bit of a little hole in the soil, and then I put that on there. So what was happening was the rock had plugged up the stopper, and then it was like directly on this dirt, so the water had nowhere to go. Yeah, much better. You know, I thought that I was gonna redo this bed, but I think I need to give it more thought than just kind of just putting, because that's how I got myself into this predicament. So we're not gonna do that, but I did get that bowl cleaned up, which was really important. But at least it looks tidier here, so I'll show you what I did. It is hot out here. So you can see first of all, you can see the bowl now. You couldn't see it when I was first trying to shoot it. But in the corner there, actually over here, there was a plant that was dead. I just took it out. I gotta really be thoughtful in what I want to put there. I really like this yellow. I don't know what it's called. They look like little buttons. That's really sweet. I might just add another one because I think it just looks so pretty. It's so easy. But anyway, the coleus there in the bowl looks nice. The Nepeta, which is right by the butterfly plant, looks so pretty. So I have this really beautiful Tibouchina princess flower shrub, and it's beautiful. It needs a little bit of a haircut, but I also put at the base of it, I put these succulents, and you know, I just wanted to cover the dirt mound, and it looked really pretty. And then they started to grow, and they're pretty tall now. And not that it doesn't look pretty, but it's a little bit too tall. So what happens is it starts to dry underneath. The petals dry. They dry up, and then what happens is they cluster down at the base, and then when the wind blows, it blows it onto the patio. So that's really annoying. So like every other day I'm sweeping up, and I don't blow it, because if I blow it, I'm just blowing it back out, and then it's going to come right back. So it's one of those things that I've been saying I'm going to do, and then I just haven't done it. So I'm going to show you the tree, the shrub, and then I'm going to show you the succulents, and then we're going to just cut them back. Part of me is like, they're so pretty, but they're a pain. So I'm going to start all over again, cut them back, and then just plant some at the base of the shrub, and we'll just keep doing that. So let me show you. All right, there you see, she's a beauty. She's right in front of my persimmon tree, and she's getting quite big, but there lies the culprit at the base. You can see it's sort of like, it looks pretty, but now it's getting too tall, and then I don't think that the camera's capturing it, but at the base you can see all the dried up leaves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it all back, and then I'm going to replant them all over again, just only at the ground level, and then just let it do its thing. To get it to that took about 2 years. So 2 years isn't bad. I don't have to do this for another 2 years. So let's just get this done. Victorious. I did it. Let me show you the succulent situation. So you can see at the bottom how I cleaned it up, and I took everything out. And then all the there was a lot of dead foliage down there as well. I trimmed the princess tree a little bit, some of the limbs that were kind of shooting out. I was supposed to take that limb out, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to be kind of lonely, so I didn't do it. But You'll notice back there I've got a pile of succulents, the babies, and I'm going to plant them at the base, so they'll be all around the base of that. That's the way I had started it. I'm not going to do that now because you're supposed to wait a day or two so that the succulents can harden off a little bit before you plant them. So I got all the specimens that I wanted, and I will plant those probably in the next few days, but I can't do that today. I need to harden them off. I'm gonna head out into the garden and just take a look. I'll do a little bit more tidying up, but I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, have a cold beverage, and just enjoy the space. It's so beautiful, and it just makes me so happy to be out here. So, all right, let's take a break. It's coming to an end. It is Sunday. I don't even know. I think it's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's so beautiful. I just feel so grateful to be able to stay out here for these many hours. And I didn't film it, but I did just a bunch of cleanup and got things a little bit organized. I am so happy. I don't know, it's wonderful to be out in the garden. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and some of it was fun, some of it was not so fun. Just some of the tasks that have to be done. Gardening is not always relaxing, it's not always glamorous. Sometimes there are things you have to do that are just so difficult and stressful. But I did that, you saw that, and now I'm just gonna shut the garden down, and then I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.